Yeah.
Shout out to the comments.
Every one of you.
StreamYard, what's up?
Wow. It was a
Is that a duck or a hair dryer?
I think
it's
it's
a
a duck.
duck. Looks like he's wearing headphones though.
It's got a StreamYard headset on.
Yeah.
You can always
Badass
rely
duck.
on that guy being here.
Yeah. He never let us
Every
down.
week that guy's here.
He's like
Yep.
Tom on MySpace. He'll be your friend.
Yeah. You got a friend in him.
Yeah. I mean, South Park made a whole episode about that. Anyway, yeah.
That's
so
good.
football.
Football.
Good
We're here
old
to
football.
Congress championships.
It's fixed, son of a bitch.
Oh. Well, we're just stalling until our crowd gets here. They ain't even got the notifications yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just
Just
killing
come
time.
up, come on in.
I think they were here about 40
plenty of
minutes.
seats available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're fashionably late again.
Are we?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Carter said it for 10:30.
9:30. Yeah, 9:35 or
Oh,
10:30.
9:30.
Yeah.
Shit. Holy shit.
We're like Guns N' Roses.
Yep. Well, you just hope we're gonna play, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you will get a show. One way or another.
Most definitely.
And
Yeah. It's possible.
Trench is going to pick up the guitar. I mean, Trenches is going to pick up the guitar and play the lullaby. Show them that American flag guitar with
It's in
the.
the house. I'll get it after.
And who signed that? Zach Brown autographed that
Yeah.
guitar. Nice.
I offered him
proud of
3.5 million for it before the show, but he didn't take it.
It's just
Hey,
too
Hoss
loud.
knows about Zach Brown. Heavy is the head that will.
That's right. I did that one with Chris Cornell. Rest
That's
in
right.
peace.
That's actually a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Carter, have you
What
heard his
channel are we
cover of
on?
Patience?
No.
Hmm.
But
Well,
matter
we're
of
ready
fact,
to do some music trivia.
I
I've
was about
got
to say,
a
what are we on?
I got a review we need to do soon. But anyway, that's another whole nother thing. Anyway, yes, football, American football happened, still happening.
For some of us.
What
Some
a
conference championships.
yeah! Like I think we should just jump. What an SEC championship game we had on this past
Close,
Saturday,
good.
and before the two people that were their teams were involved. Me and Cranges are going to talk about it because we were just
Okay.
spectators. What'd you think about it, Cranges?
Well, I'll tell you, Carter. Georgia got that opening possession, or their first possession. It seemed like it was. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, but they went right down the field, and I thought, oh shit, Georgia's looking like a machine. Here they go. And then Bama just surged back and just chipped away and chipped away. They're like a boa constrictor. They keep thinking you got a chance, and then they keep tightening the grip on you, and boom, next thing you know, you're down by 10. And I hate to say it, man. Hats off to Saban, dude. God damn, man, he's still got it. Fucker still can do it. I mean, Bama to me, I mean, other than Georgia kind of kept it close at the end, but it seemed like it was Bama's game. Outside of like maybe the last few minutes of the first quarter, it seemed like it was all Bama.
See, Bama knew the trick to beat Georgia. Don't score on their first possession. Every team that Georgia's played scores like that first time they get the ball, they just score. Bama didn't do that, and that made the difference.
Georgia's still, to me, top 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I know we're trying to not talk about that all in this one segment here. Save that for later, but it's killing me. Like I feel a certain kind of way about the playoffs and the teams that they selected, but Georgia's still good. Georgia,
Mhm.
I'd like to have seen them play again. We won't get to see it, but
No.
I mean, who saw that beatdown coming in the SEC title game 2 years ago, and what happened in the Natty?
Yep.
We won't get a chance to see anything
Well,
close to
too
that.
bad it's not next year, because if it was next year, then it wouldn't have
Yeah.
mattered who won or lost, really. I mean,
Yeah.
it would have helped with better seating, but at the end of the day, So anyway,
It was a
go
good
ahead.
game.
Yeah.
It was a good game. I don't know if I'd call it a classic per se, but it was a pretty
Mhm.
good game. It was a good game. I
I
give it
think
a
it's
good 7 on the sliding scale.
Yeah. I mean, everybody I think a lot of experts and people all around the country kind of wrote Bama off, at least for this game.
I kind of did too.
Yeah. And like good old Sunshine Scooter would say, not so fast, my friend.
Francis, your
Flex.
thoughts?
Yeah, it was a great game. The one thing I heard somebody say it and they nailed it. You had two teams go in. One was there to win. One was trying not to lose, and that was the name of that game. Like Bama did not stop. Every time Georgia scored, they scored. Georgia, they didn't play conservative. They got beat on the line of scrimmage completely. Offense, defense, Bama just had their number. But there was nothing except for there was like one explosive play. I think it was like 50-something yards, Hoss, the throw to Arian.
Yes.
Besides that, there was no shots taken. It was a lot of let's be, careful to not give them the ball back. Dude, like we talked about this during the God, what game was it Georgia had a couple weeks ago where it was, Georgia Tech. He didn't go for it on fourth down. You're not going to beat a great team by playing that way.
Mm-mm.
Bama came there to win. Georgia did not. Hats off to Bama.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say to me, it was an evenly matched game as far as that goes. I mean, we each took, gave our best shots, and I knew it was going to be important for us to get a lead and go into the half with the lead in order to be able to finish the game out. But really, if you think about it, that missed field goal, the one where it dinged off, that really is the
And you
play
called that
that
before the game.
it turned the tide, and not to be, no pun intended there, but
Yeah. Do you remember that though, Hoss?
yeah, I did.
Son of a bitch, jinged us right before the game. The guy at college game day misses a field goal. He's like, "Oh, maybe that's a sign of woodring," and I'm like, "Oh God."
I mean, it was close though. It almost got in there, but yeah, I think if this would have went to overtime, it would have. It could have went either way because it was just getting that extra shot. Because I could just tell the way Kirby was. He's like, if we just had one more possession,
There was one part of that game where I was very impressed with Saban, and it was that timeout battle they had before half. Saban played that beautifully, forced Kirby to have a timeout, which stopped the clock for his offense, Saban's offense. They go out there, they make it seem like they're about to, just make him jump off sides, whatever. Then Saban calls a timeout, goes for the fourth down, gets it, and now has extended time by not only using his timeout, but one of Georgia's. Great play.
Yeah.
I felt like Georgia kept trying to run too much. They couldn't get
that a lot.
They couldn't get those third and ones.
Yeah, they have to be two-dimensional. They're one of those teams like Carson's not going to beat you deep. Like we saw it one time that whole game. So what they try to do is get the run game going. That way they can start using a lot more play action and just do kind of up the middles and out route kind of things. And, I mean, there was a little bit of success with that, but for the most part, like they were double teaming Brock really well. Hell, even Bell had pretty good coverage on him. It was literally that first drive they did the exact same Georgia's been doing all year. Okay, let's see what they got drive one. Let's adjust and let's stop it. And they did it to Georgia, and it worked perfectly.
I'll tell you where I knew that it. Well, I couldn't say new, but I felt like it's just not Georgia's day. Y'all ran a play. And credit the defense. Y'all turned the ball over deep in your red zone. But it was that play where Carson, the ball just fell on the ground. It was like it was there for 20 seconds.
Mhm.
It seemed like in slow motion. I can't remember what the play was. It's like they was running a trick reverse or something. But either way, the ball just fell right down on the ground, and the running back didn't get it, and Carson didn't know it was on the ground, and Bama just pounced on it. Now, credit to you guys, you held them to a field goal, but that was a big.
It wasn't a trick play. It was literally a missed handoff, which I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, this is week 13. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
If you ain't got handoffs by now, you ain't got it. Excuse me. Good God. Chimichurri, never again. Good Lord.
Coming
But
back
no,
to get you.
they did really well at adjusting after that first drive. Like they shut down everything Milton was going to do up the middle. They shut down the dump passes. Like anytime you saw Brock catch it, there was 3 players on him every time. So credit to them. Great defense, great offense.
I think Georgia's defense did a pretty good job, all things considered.
Yeah.
Georgia's offense just couldn't. They needed I watched a good bit of it. I'd say a good 80% of it, and I seen a lot of critical third downs that Georgia just got stuffed on.
Which they were number 1 in third down efficiency.
Yeah,
Here was my biggest issue with the whole game. It has nothing to do with winning the game or losing the game. You have a guy, yeah, I get it. He's our number 1 receiver, but every play he's limping. Why in the fuck are you keeping him on the field? We have 5 stars behind him. Put one in. I don't give a shit about experience at this point. We need somebody healthy.
Especially when somebody's limping,
Yeah. Every time he caught the ball, he got up limping. And I'm like, dude, pull him out of the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he would play in the upcoming bowl game.
No, him or Brock.
Mm-mm.
But
Brock's gone after this year, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think he's going to play in the bowl game. But Hoss texted Brock Vandergriff out. I think Carson comes back. So that's at least a positive Georgia could take out of this.
Mm-hmm. So before we get to the playoff thing, because I feel like that's going to be a deep dive conversation.
Yeah.
AP All SEC awards and team. If you guys want to hear it.
Okay.
Sure. Of course, surprise, surprise, the SEC Offensive Player of the Year was LSU's Jaden Daniels.
Oh.
Yeah. Defensive Player of the Year for the SEC is Mississippi State's Nathaniel Watson.
Hey.
Alabama's Caleb Downs was the newcomer of the year, and the SEC Coach of the Year was Eli Drinkwitz.
Okay.
I can see that.
That's fair.
As far as your first team offense, at wide receivers, you got Malik Neighbors, LSU, and you got Luther Burden III from Missouri. Your O-line, you got tackles Javon Foster, Missouri, J.C. Latham, Alabama. At guards, you got Tate Ratledge, Georgia, Tyler Booker, Alabama. At center, you got Cedric Van Pran, however you say it, from Georgia. Tight end, Brock Bowers, Georgia. Quarterback, Jake Daniels, LSU. Running back, Cody Schrader, Missouri. And running back, Ray Davis, Kentucky. Your place kicker, Will Reichert, Alabama. And your all-purpose would be Anais Smith, Texas A&M. Your first team all defense, you've got the defensive ends. You got James Pierce Jr., Tennessee. Darius Robertson, Missouri. At defensive tackles, you've got Marcus Harris, Auburn. Dante Walker, Kentucky. Your linebackers, Dallas Turner, Alabama. Edric Cooper, A&M. Nathaniel Watson, Mississippi State. You got corners. You got Chris Abrams Drain from Missouri. And, of course, Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama. Safeties, you got Malachi Starks, Georgia. Matthew Hable, Vanderbilt. Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Did you name a Tennessee player?
James Pierce, defensive
Pierce.
end.
Okay. So that being said, if that's the teams, that's great and all. Did Jaden Daniels secure his Heisman?
Maybe.
See, I got a problem with that too.
Me too. Well, it's also a very weak Heisman class. Let's be real.
Jalen Milroe got second team, boss, quarterback.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've never been one to say that like there's some people thought he was just a bad quarterback, and I've never said that he's a bad quarterback, but he just has certain tendencies that were even present in the SEC championship, and what led to the 4 sacks because of
holding on.
Sometimes he's trying to make something more than he should, and if you can't find an available man, you just got to take off running and make something out of it instead of dropping back 10 yards or however much. And I mean, it's something he still does, but I mean, overall, I mean, he's been a key part of our wins that we've had.
I want to see Crange's reaction to this. What is he, Hoss?
Who?
Milroe.
What is he?
Yeah, like what grade's he in?
What grade's he in?
You know what I mean? Is he a senior, junior?
What year?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was a sophomore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew that would get under Crange's skin right there. You got at least one more year, this guy.
God almighty,
yeah,
dude.
I would think he'd hang for at least one more season.
Crange, just real quick, I'm just going to name your second team All SEC. I'm not going to name them all. I'm going to say you had another Auburn player, Gunnar Britton, at tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Alabama, Justin Ebo, how you say that, Hoss?
Aboigby, I think is how they pronounce it.
At tackle. Nazir Stackhouse from Georgia's defensive tackle. Chris Braswell, linebacker, Alabama. Terry and Arnold, Alabama. Javon Bullard, safety, Georgia. Safety, Caleb Downs, Alabama. And then Tennessee center, Cooper Mays, second team. And running back, Jalen Wright, got second team running back.
So no love for Kool-Aid on either one, first or second?
Yeah, he was first team.
Oh, okay, maybe I missed. I was going to say, dude, there's no way he didn't make the first or second team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's first team. Dude, that whole list is all Bama, Georgia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping this time that they're going to have off that he'll be able to recover. Concussion protocol they had him under, but hopefully he should be ready for the game against Michigan. So
you gonna do third team, Carter?
No, I ain't gonna waste my time with that.
Oh. Yeah,
I waste my time with you all the time.
Yeah, I wish Milroe this was his swan song, and he was heading to the pros, but he's a bad man.
I don't
know this Jaden Daniels shit, man. I guess the stats say that he's the best. I guess I don't know. Would you take him over Jalen Milroe right now?
It's tough because they kind of play the same kind of style.
I'm gonna look up this dude's stats. Let's just see if it's like.
So
I just got to see if it's
better than Penix. You think?
To me, Penix should have the Heisman this year, Hoss.
That's what I was thinking too.
I'm so glad Bo Nix is not gonna get it. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck Oregon. They've been doing the same shit for 20 plus years. And next year they're gonna do it again too. Guess what? Everybody's gonna fall in love with Oregon. They'll beat the first 4 teams they play by 70 points, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, nobody can beat Oregon." And then guess what? They get beat.
I forgot he came from Arizona State.
I don't know if it's not even close, Crimson. But all right, I'm probably going to take out of those two. I'm probably right now. I think you're right. I'd probably take Jaden because of what Haas said. They play the same style, but he doesn't have those tendencies, which next year Milroe probably won't either.
Here's why, though, guys. I think this is something we're missing. Just all right. Hear me out. His passing stats. He's thrown for 3,812 yards. He's thrown for 40 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. Not only that, but he's got 1,134 yards rushing with 10 rushing touchdowns. So the dude tore it up on the ground too. You know, I mean that's kind of Tim Tebow numbers right there. You know, with the rushing and the passing.
I still think Penix deserves a Heisman though.
And you, yeah, probably.
Because think about it this way: what Heisman contender did he beat? Jaden Daniels, none.
Mm.
Yeah, Bo Nix was on that Heisman list all year, and Penix beat his ass twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The close race is going to be for second, third between Penix and Bo, don't you think?
Yeah, now Penix has more passing yards. He's thrown for 4,218 yards, 33 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. But he rushed for negative 18 yards. You know.
Yeah, the real battle is going to be for second and third because whether I like it or not, Jaden Daniels is going to win the Heisman.
To me, it just feels weird because every year it's always a winning team. Their star player usually, has a chance for the Heisman. This is not a winning team.
Yeah. First time since what, Lamar Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
Bo Nix, 4,145 yards, 40 touchdowns, 3 picks. Because the finalists were Nix, Penix, of course Daniels and Harrison Jr. Right? Yeah, that's the finalists.
Oh, Bo didn't even get the invite?
Yeah, he did. What I was saying is it's Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., Jaden Daniels, and the fourth man is Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he even had as good of a year as he did last year. Well, you see,
So
last
did
year.
any of us get our any of us got our Heisman picks? I think Hoss picked Harrison, didn't he?
Hoss picked Drake May.
I think I picked May.
Yeah, I picked Travis.
I had Quinn Ewers.
Who'd you have, Brandon?
I think I thought that Hoss picked Harrison because I went the other receiver. I went Ibuki.
Let me look because I think I wrote this
I remember
shit
you
down.
picking Caleb Williams in a repeat.
Yeah, I think he's right.
Maybe I did.
Let me look. I think I wrote this down actually.
Yeah, look it up, Carter.
I've heard him say that Bo Nix is definitely playing in their bowl game, and they're going up against Liberty now.
Liberty.
I've been telling y'all all season long that Liberty's, I know they're a smaller conference and everything, but they will get out there. They're pretty physical and fast moving on offense.
So I'm sure we'll make picks.
I do have it.
Week. Are you taking Liberty in that game?
Well, I'm thinking that I think I'll pick them.
Look right here. Crangis and Hoss both picked Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay,
we did.
I was wrong. So
y'all
guys
picked
are
Jordan
still
Travis, and you picked Quinn Ewers. But here, listen to this though. This is the best one I've heard.
That's a good pick.
I've got where Unc said, write this down. This was August 20th, 2023. He said he's going to make 2 bold predictions. Okay, that USC would win the Pac-12.
Wrong.
Here's the best one. South Carolina will play in a New Year's Six bowl game.
No
way. I remember that. All night he was screaming that shit.
Yep.
Yep.
That was when we made our week 0 picks.
Mm-hmm.
You need to start writing shit down more often, Carter. Just take notes.
I like how you say that, and every time he pulls out the notepad, you just give him shit.
Well, it's always like 40 pages back.
Well, because we write a lot of shit. Dude, I've got all the picks from each week. From week 0 to last week we did.
Carter does a good job keeping up.
Thank you.
By the way, I've been wanting to do this since the show started. We are selling an acoustic guitar. If you're interested, it's a Yamaha FG-401.
Yep.
If you're interested in that, Trenches, why don't you tell the people where they can email you and hit you up about this guitar?
TrenchesUGA@gmail.com.
There you go. It's been a while since the people heard that.
Been expertly tuned, kept in immaculate condition.
That is correct. So if you're in the market for an acoustic guitar, there you go. All right. Anyway, there was also another conference championship game too, Carter.
There was a lot.
Washington, Oregon.
Yeah, and that one was a great game, and I won a little money on that one. So
It had pretty much the same outcome as the first time they played.
Yeah, almost
And
identical to the T.
And I believe if you go back and watch last week's episode, I was the only one that picked Washington.
We don't take profanity in here. Go take a timeout.
Yeah. Did we even do a show last week, Carter?
Well, I got picks, brother.
No, I don't think we did a show last week.
Yeah, we did. We did it on a Monday.
Yeah.
Bang bang.
Oh yeah.
It was it was that second show we talked about doing that didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, that kind of didn't go off too well.
Why didn't we do a show on Saturday?
I was fully expecting we would, but
Crangis was nowhere to be found.
I know for sure as of about 9:30 p.m. Central Time. That hadn't even been a discussion on the table.
Well, it was 9:31.
Oh,
when it got brought up.
Damn, I missed it by 1 minute.
I can tell you right now, if it wasn't brought up by 10:30 my time, I was going to bed.
Yeah.
Come on, don't you want to talk about it?
No, I was having a rough day. My neighbor had indigestion for 14 hours. My team lost. It was rough.
Sometimes you just have a bad day.
I hope you felt my prayers coming your way.
I appreciate it. But going back to that game, I will say I am proud because Georgia, even though we were losing, they stayed physical. And if you can stay physical and keep doing your job, you're great. But if you can't, you're a Mississippi State fan.
Yeah, definitely.
And those guys usually don't hold jobs well.
They don't.
So, yeah, you're right about that.
I actually saw where their QB has entered the portal.
Mississippi State's?
Yeah, we'll take him.
God.
There's a lot of good quarterbacks out. You got what? DJ Uiagalelei, Brock Vandegrift. What's the kid from A&M?
Oh, yeah.
Mac Johnson.
Johnson's entered.
Yeah.
I feel like this is just the normal now. Dude, Georgia's second string kicker just entered the portal. Like, this is the weirdest shit ever.
Yeah.
I saw
every year we're all going to have major turnover.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's where you got to just keep recruiting.
I literally saw a stat, and this is not me picking on them. This is just something I've seen.
Vanderbilt.
Oh, dude, their starting quarterback, their three leading receivers, and their running back, plus I think they've had out of both offenses, 13 of their starters have entered the portal. Like, what the hell?
I saw that one receiver who scored that 49-yard touchdown on Georgia will be at the Georgia-Florida State game.
Is it me or is it now 1 year commitments?
Pretty much.
Like,
if you don't get to play, you ain't gonna stay.
High school or transfer portal. They're 1 year commitment. It's a year-by-year case.
What is this?
Had a bad day again.
Like, I almost want to go transfer portal from here on out. Fuck recruiting, because hell, you get them unless they're just like studs and ready to go right out the gate.
We're surprised you haven't already, Crangis. Are you talking about players?
Yeah.
I could be wrong on this, but I thought I read the other day where, like, last year at this time, there was like, I think it said when everything was said and done, it was like 2,000 players had, entered in the transfer portal to go other places. So it's a lot.
But here's the one thing that I it's helping some of these kids that are like at Division 2 and 3 schools that for whatever reason they didn't get looked at, maybe because of where they played at in their high school. And it's giving them the opportunity to get, have a big, if they go out and ball out at, Furman, they get a chance to get looked at again and they can go play SEC or, you know what I mean, Power 5. I mean, that's, I guess, one cool thing about it.
Don't it
But
hurt your feelings when you see guys transfer?
It's a part of the sport now.
mm-hmm.
I don't think you can take it personally.
It's like, so Auburn, they're mid-tier at best right now. I think Freeze is the guy that will get it turned around, but right now it ain't there yet. But you see, like we ain't had a good receiver in decades, for sure a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got receivers transferring away from Auburn. I'm like, well, bitch, what are you doing? If you can't make the field in the starting position, we got some of the worst wide receivers in the country. And if you can't make the field, what are you doing, you little bitch? You can't. Where are you gonna go play? Like, bitch, get out of here.
Yeah, that's one
Junior,
thing.
take your ass on out of here.
That's one thing too. Is a lot of these, these fucking, I guess let that shit go to their head. They're like, well, if I ain't starting as a fucking freshman, I'm just gonna transfer. That's a big thing too. Like basically what you're saying, isn't that right, Chris? Like
Yeah,
guys that get mad because I didn't get to see the field enough, so I'm gonna go somewhere else.
yeah. Now I will say this: I have seen it work in reverse twice so far against us. I don't know about you guys, but Bo Nix went to Oregon and thrived. He made the right decision. Good for him. And Malik Willis, Gus Malzahn had that fucking guy sitting on the bench.
What about Joe Burrow?
We didn't have Joe Burrow.
Oh, I thought you were just saying anybody who's transferred.
No, he's saying,
I'm just saying all. Yeah, have you guys seen it work against your own school yet? I've seen it work. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's more, but those are the two that stick out in my mind. Gus had Malik Willis sitting on. He was starting like I don't even remember who it was. It wasn't Bo. It was before Bo, but we were terrible, and Malik Willis went to Liberty and got this whole damn thing started.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it against, just like Bo Nix. I seen a guy that came here and
Joey
Nathan
G.
Peterman. His name was Nathan Peterman. This is kind of before the portal. This guy comes out and starts against Florida, and I swear to God, he was 1 of 5 for 9 yards and 4 interceptions. That means out of those 5 passes, all of them got caught. Except the bad thing is that only one of them got caught by a Tennessee receiver. The other 4 went the other way. This dude went 1 of 5 through 4 picks. And next thing you know, this motherfucker gets ACC Player of the Year at fucking Pitt. And I'm like, the fuck?
I think it's safe to say that DJ's playing a hell of a lot better now than he was in Clemson.
Yes.
I tell you what's fucking hilarious though, Carter, is Florida fans all season, even with the shitty season they've had, well, just wait till Wilson gets better and better. He's gonna be an SEC Player of the Year. I'm like, okay, he might be now because that fucker just entered the portal. Best of luck, bitch.
I mean, sometimes the portal can be a blessing in disguise because you can get players off your team that really aren't, doing much. So,
How did Jarrett Garantano wind up doing wherever he transferred to?
It was amazing. He did so good at Washington State. I think he had more interceptions than touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So that one definitely was in our favor. I mean, we lost Jarrett Garantano and we got Hendon Hooker, so I think we definitely won that one.
Yeah.
For a year.
No, we had him for 2 years. He did good for 2 years. Look at this, 247 Sports. The 10 best transfers in college football history. Y'all want to try to guess which ones are what?
Joe Burrow's in the top 3.
Oh, I'm sure. Here's what I'll mention:
All right.
Don Blanchard, North Carolina to Army. Roger Staubach, New Mexico military. Oh, get the fuck out of here! I don't know why I started reading that. What the fuck? Okay. Landon Dickerson, Florida State to Alabama. Yeah, I'm sure Hoss remembers him.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson from NC State to Wisconsin. J.J. Watt went from Central Michigan to Wisconsin. And Wisconsin's getting all of them. Troy Aikman transferred from Oklahoma to UCLA. Justin Fields, Georgia to Ohio State. Number 5, Scott Frost, Stanford and Nebraska. Oh, shit. Randy Moss, Notre Dame to Florida State to Marshall. Kyler Murray, Texas A&M to Oklahoma. Baker Mayfield, Texas Tech to Oklahoma. And number 1, Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Yeah.
You ready to talk some playoffs, Carter?
Yeah. Are you ready to talk about the playoff committee selection? You might want to touch on that. Very controversial. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It was definitely got some people upset.
Okay.
FSU is big mad.
Yeah, they are. I heard something yesterday. I think Trenches, you were the one that told me about it. About what Georgia or what Florida State is going to do for the Orange Bowl.
I don't know if they're going to do it, but one of the people in the administration said this is what they should do is to make the NCAA lose money is show up to the Orange Bowl, get your free stuff, go out there, warm up, and then when the game kicks off, just don't fucking play. I was like, hey, fair to you. You can do what you want. It's your program. Go for it.
It's a free win in the Georgia record book.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I get it, Bama fans saying, like, when Crimson said, fuck FSU. I get that. But at a certain point, man, like, even with an injury, these kids did everything they were asked. You have to feel bad for what happened to them. I mean, it's a shitty situation. Someone was getting hosed.
Yep.
No matter how you looked at this.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They got fucked.
I don't know about that though, because see, this is where I think a lot of people get confused, and maybe it's just because the committee's not really been consistent with their criteria. But being unbeaten is just one of the criteria they measure on. So that's really what FSU is saying. Well, we're unbeaten, so we should be in. Well, but how did you play in certain games? You know, were they closer than they should have been against opponents that you really should have blown out? That was true for them. You know,
But that was true for almost every team in the.
Did they really have you know a bunch of signature wins? Not really. So there's a lot of things to consider there. Other
Their best
than
win was the first game of the year.
Their quarterback got hurt, and you know it's their got to be their quarterback. You know, but
that was it. If Jordan Travis had not got hurt, Florida State would be in right now. But because he got injured, it's a perception.
All right. So here's my thing, right? I was watching the playoff when they made the picks. And that's before they even did the picks. I knew Florida State wasn't getting in because one of the things that popped up on the criteria was injuries to, impact players. That's never been on there before.
Yeah.
Now it's on there this year. You're making the statement before you even give it. That way you have your reasoning why, which is fine. Every company does that. But to say, well, the injuries, why? Okay, but that hasn't been a factor before. That's right. Where it's kind of shaky. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm saying they're being inconsistent in their criteria because, as we know, when Bama faced Ohio State, they had their third string quarterback that went up against us and handled business. So obviously their main quarterback getting hurt or the first two getting hurt didn't negatively affect them in that game. So
All right, but here's the thing that really, I mean, we talked about this before we went live. That irks me about the playoff committee. They're so inconsistent. Georgia right now is a 14.5-point favorite. Okay. Yet Florida State is ranked ahead of Georgia, but 2 other one-loss teams skip Florida State. You can't say one statement without the other. It doesn't make any sense.
right.
Either Florida State's 6th in the nation or they're 3rd in the nation. You can't put them at 5 ahead of one team who's 14.5 points favored over them when they have the same record as 3 and 4. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's where when we switch to 12 next year, yes, it's going to be better, but teams are still going to get fucked. I mean, this is something that's going to keep happening until there's a criteria, and it's like if you hit boom, 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 you're in, done, no exceptions, or just don't have people do it at all. Just let the computer decide who's the 12 best teams at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Man error is always going to be there.
Yeah.
With the Pac-12 leaving, or go ahead, Granger. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. You good?
I was saying with the Pac-12 leaving, this is my suggestion. All right. There's going to be 4 power conferences, right? SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12. Okay. So what you could do is if you're doing a 12-team playoffs, you take your 4 conference champions, and then you take those runner-ups from those, like whoever came in second. There's 8 teams, and then you have 4 at large. That means like an American Athletic Conference champion can get in, a Maction champion can get in, a Sun Belt champion, and a fucking Mountain West champion can get in. There's 12 teams.
Yeah. I mean, if the criteria was just be unbeaten, then Liberty should be in the playoff this year. But
Let's be
that's
honest.
not
What
the
if they
only
had a better
criteria.
schedule
That's what
than
I'm
Liberty?
saying. It doesn't matter though. I mean, it's like they're unbeaten. So if that was the only criteria, I'm saying.
Hang on now. One of the criteria, like you said, was what's your best wins. Florida State had way better wins than Liberty.
That's
That's
true.
weird. I don't know about that argument. Big Vol Daddy says Georgia almost lost a couple of teams. Georgia shouldn't be in, period. I said that before this game. Whoever loses this game is automatically out. Nobody's arguing for Georgia here.
I
Yes,
would.
Brandon? No. Look, I get it. If you want to go off an eye test, sure. But this isn't an eye test. Like Haas said, there's a whole list of stuff you got to hit. They didn't hit it. You can't lose your last game going into a playoff selection. Doesn't work that way.
Okay. Can I go now?
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you TCU last year.
Yeah.
Kansas State beat them in the Big 12 conference title game.
Mm-hmm.
Close game. Got in. This is the year we needed the 12-team playoff. Of course, we don't get it, but we needed it. I'm happy with the field. It just so happened this year there was a bunch of teams that were pretty good. Thank God Oregon didn't get in it. Florida State was going to get hosed. I said it in the text thing that on Saturday they're getting fucked. It's a perception battle, and they're tired of. We've done tried Cincinnati once, got blew up. We tried TCU, got blew up. We've done seen what Florida State with Jordan Travis is not that team, but right now they are that team, and perception is reality.
Well, if they are as good as they claim to be, then they should show it in the game versus Georgia. But
if Georgia has a lot of
are they going to do that? That's the big if.
Yeah,
I feel like real quick to counter what you just said about TCU for my counter. 2 teams lost ahead of TCU. They got TCU in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they fell in. If Washington, no, not Washington. If Michigan and Texas would have lost, then yeah, Georgia would have maybe snuck in, but that didn't happen this year. The other thing, I'm
okay with Georgia being out, but
yeah, me too.
But if Florida State would have got in over Georgia, I would have had a problem with that. If you didn't hold Bama in, it's because you're not a fan. You hate Bama. I'm just gonna call that a spade.
The Orange Bowl, putting Florida State and Georgia is the committee's way of saying, well, Georgia should beat the shit out of Florida State, and that'll be our C. They didn't deserve to be in kind of situation.
Yeah.
I get that. Do I think they're the fourth best team? No. I do think they got fucked, though. I think they did everything they were supposed to do to be in. Now, whether that's Bama or Texas to get out, y'all decide. I don't give a shit. To me, Bama had a way harder schedule. I get it, head up. Texas won, but Bama had beat the number one team in the country. Florida State did everything they were supposed to do to get in. Whether you like them as a top four team or not, they did that.
Let me ask you this, Trenches.
Yeah.
And be serious. And this is for everybody here. I'm just going to pick two teams or one team.
Yeah.
Just for shits and giggles. This Florida State team right now, as we know it, the team that's going to play the bowl game versus Auburn 100% ready to go. Who you taking? It's all hypothetical anyway.
Honestly,
yeah.
I don't know if y'all can score on them. Their defense is legit.
Yeah, their defense is legit.
Their defense is fucking like I'm worried about their defense against Georgia.
Okay, what would the score be?
Damn good.
What would the score be?
10-6.
Yeah, it's going to be
Something
low.
like that? Okay.
The over-under is going to be like 20 points.
If Alabama, sorry, go ahead, Hoss. If Auburn and Florida State played tomorrow, who you got?
I actually think Auburn could get it done.
See, that ought to tell you right there where Florida State's at. Now with Jordan Travis, whole different story.
Yeah, it's an ass whooping.
It's a 49-7.
I think to me they're the same. They're playing the same right now. Yeah, they're surviving. Right. Let's be honest. They're surviving their game.
Yeah.
But they're doing it the same way Iowa does. You can't score on that defense. That defense is very fucking good.
They hold up for a while, but against a team with an offense, they're gonna cave. Like
Iowa did. Yeah, but I don't think if Auburn has that offense to make them cave right now.
But you said it yourself, 10-6 or something, 13-7.
It'd be a low scoring game. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's even go 17-7. Florida State. I'm good with that. I can see Florida State still winning that game. Kind of. But okay, if Bama played Florida State tomorrow, what's that final score?
Oh, like 34-3.
So they're trying to get the best for.
I get that, but
trying to get the best.
Going back to my argument, if that's the case, and we're looking at on a neutral field, who's favored? Why are they ranked above Georgia? We've already seen they're not favored.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
I think what Trenches is saying that I think he's saying that Florida State is definitely not one of the four best teams. I think he's saying they deserve, or they deserve it. They don't. I don't know.
They're a deserving team. They're not a four best team. They're a deserving team. But my biggest argument with all of it is just the inconsistency. Figure that shit out. It shouldn't be a surprise every year who's at 4. We should know going into this.
Yeah.
You can't put them at 5 because that doesn't make any fucking sense. And you can't put them at, it's really just 5 I have an issue with. There's no reason for them to be at 5. They're either 3 or 6.
They were in a no-win situation, though. Could you agree on that? Because, let's say they dropped Georgia to 4. You had Washington, Texas, Bama. All right, so Bama would go to, let's say they beat number 1, so they go to 4. Or what do you do with Georgia? 3 or 4? Let's put Bama at 3, Georgia 4, Washington and Michigan. Okay. Fuck, man. I mean,
I still think that's right. I think Texas gets in above Georgia. They won their conference.
Okay, yeah.
The only way Georgia had a chance is if Texas lost.
Georgia's only loss in 3 years, pretty much, is a conference championship game. Last in a one possession game. I mean, cachet means a lot too.
Look, I'm gonna be real with you. I am excited about next year to play Bama at Bama because at least it's not fucking Atlanta. Like I'm done playing those bastards in Atlanta. They're unbeatable in fucking Mercedes-Benz. I'm done doing that shit. Let's play them at their house. That's fine.
I was talking to Megan earlier, and she brought up a good point. I don't know if she, I don't know where she got it from, or she may come up with it. I don't know, but she said if it wasn't for Bama, Texas wouldn't have gotten in. Because if Georgia beat Bama, Texas probably would have got left out too, possibly.
Possibly. And see, I saw somebody blaming Georgia for that. Well, if Georgia would have won, there'd have been no problems. Well, no, you've already snuck Texas in at 3. Texas was going to get in either way. They were gonna hop in Florida State.
I guess that's the thing that's crazy is that Florida State fans are mad at the wrong. They're mad at like Alabama and they're like, fuck Alabama, them sorry motherfuckers. It's like, dude, I don't know why you're mad at them. They didn't. I mean,
Yeah,
you should
be mad at the
the
committee.
fucking committee. Yeah, they made that. They made that decision. You know.
Yeah, you can't be mad at a team for winning their conference and being happy about getting in. Of course they are. They're a fan base. If Auburn did the same shit, Cranders would be happy. His team got in.
I wouldn't apologize for shit.
No, as they shouldn't. They didn't make the fucking decision.
Just like today, you can try to nail me to the wall on some fucking.
I'm gonna.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't care what people say about Cam Newton. I don't give a fuck about that shit. He was worth every penny he got paid, and some. Tell me he got paid money, bag man, whatever you want to. I say fuck you. I don't care.
I got no problem with Cam except his fucking wardrobe.
I win us an natty. You can wear a pink tutu out there. I don't give a shit. Just bring home the natties. And we're all that way, right?
Yeah.
Don't get you. We love our villains. We love our villains. The more you hate our players, the more we love them.
My favorite quarterback's 5'10" and has apparently a drug or alcohol abusive system because he can't play in the NFL. Like, don't give a fuck. He did what he needed to do for my team. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Cam Newton's kind of like a Brian Bosworth. If you weren't a fan of Oklahoma, everybody hated Brian Bosworth because he was cocky and arrogant and all that shit. But he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. Of course, Auburn fans are going to love him. Everybody else is going to hate him. But yeah, that's the way. We're all that way with all of our players. What am I going to say to Trenches that's going to make him hate Stetson Bennett?
Nothing.
He's partied too much. Oh,
Sweet.
My bad. I don't like him no more. Yeah, like that's really going to fucking happen. Yeah.
I think it makes me like him more.
Yeah, it's kind of cool when you got
we got a guy who can't play in the NFL because he's got an addiction problem. Fucking sweet.
I would rather cheer. I mean, you know, I don't really have a hatred for Auburn, so I always rather. I like Cam Newton. I'd rather cheer for him than Tim Tebow. I don't want that goody two-shoes bullshit. I like the bad boy.
I liked Johnny Manziel. I thought he was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And on that Auburn team, he wasn't even Cam Newton wasn't like I didn't think he was like the guy I really liked was Nick Faraday. I was like, oh, that dude's a bad son of a bitch. Like fucking.
He was the real bad guy of that year.
Yeah, he was
yelling and stuff and shushing the crowd, and people hated that. But anyway, the playoffs. Whew, I think they got it right. There ain't nobody you could tell Florida State was about to get the hose. I mean, that's. Who did any of you not see that coming? I haven't talked to you since.
I saw it coming once they put out the criteria.
I hate it for Florida State. I feel bad for Florida State, but for the sake of, I guess, an entertaining playoff, yeah, I don't think they were going to make it. I mean, it would have been kind of like last year with TCU. You know, I mean, what would be crazy though is what if Michigan wins this whole thing and then July they strip it from them? It's like, well, there's no champion, you know. Because if they do that, they're not going to award it to whoever came in second. They don't do that. Nobody gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we would all agree in here if there's one team that doesn't deserve to be in, it's Michigan.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm cool with that. Take out Michigan, put Florida in the number 4 spot, or Florida State, and move Washington number 1. I'm cool with that.
With all the controversy, I mean, fuck, I don't know why they can't like change. You know, they could make changes at the last minute. Fucking let Alabama and Florida State play each other next Saturday, like after the Army-Navy game, at a neutral site, and then there you go. You know. Easy. There's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Who deserves to be number 4? Okay, well, let them play each other and let's find out.
Thank God it's all over after this year.
Yeah, until that 12th team, it's fucked over.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be such a national outcry.
No, there won't be.
It'll be more regional. Like Boise State got they're mad,
Yeah.
but nobody's gonna care about if Liberty got upset or Boise or
Well, let's say if it did happen this year, the 13th team would have been LSU. So do you think they would have complained that they didn't get in
Oh yeah, they would cry.
with a 9-3 record?
They would cry. Yeah.
yeah. They would cry, but this is the first time, literally, and this is the first year in a long time. I won't even try to year drop here, but this is the first time we've had more than 3 adequate teams that could realistically win this thing.
Yeah.
Usually they struggle to find 4.
I think a lot of people are sleeping on Washington, man.
Yeah.
They could be trouble. I would not be surprised if they go out and bitch slap Texas at this point. Really wouldn't.
Texas
I'm
is
just-
pretty fucking good.
I
But
know
yes,
they are.
I know where you're going with that. Yeah.
I'm just saying everybody keeps saying Washington's frauds, and
Yeah.
they keep proving everybody wrong. Now they
Yeah.
might get we might get proven right after they play Texas. Then again, if they win that
Yeah.
game, then what are people going to say?
Yeah, because I think even Oregon was like a 80% pick to win on against Washington in the rematch.
Yeah.
They got curb stomped.
Yeah. I never understood that. I'm like, they're playing at a neutral site. I don't get what. I mean, I wasn't going to be surprised if Oregon won that game, but man, the way people were talking, I mean, even the spread was like crazy. It was like, this is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah,
how are
wasn't it
guys-
double digits?
It was 9.5.
Yeah, close enough. Just totally disrespecting Washington.
And that's why I put money on fucking Washington. I was like, there ain't no way that Oregon's going to win this game. By 10 points, I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought it was going to be close like it was last time.
You're gonna make me go in on Oregon for a 3rd time in this show, aren't you?
Well, I
Yes.
mean, Washington's last 3 games, though, they won, by 2 points
Yeah.
against Oregon State, 3 points, Washington State, 3 points, Oregon State. Oregon, I mean, so they're just
Refuse to lose, baby.
Mm-hmm.
but I'm saying it's been closer than some of their other games. So, I mean, to say that they're like unbeatable, I mean,
No, I'm not
especially
saying
going
that.
up against Texas.
I'm just saying I won't be surprised if they win that game either, because every time that they're not supposed to win, they win. Is what I'm saying. Like,
Yep.
they just got that refuse to lose attitude right now.
Yeah, they're kind of winning ugly, pretty, however they got to do it. But yeah, ever since they beat Oregon in that first matchup in the middle of the year, they were still celebrating a month afterwards. Like, dude, y'all either gonna get it in gear. I'm one of the ones. I thought they was gonna choke. I thought they was gonna choke well before the Oregon rematch, but they didn't.
I mean, that's a big rivalry too. I mean, you ask any Washington fan, you say, who's your biggest rival? They're not gonna say Washington State. They're gonna say Oregon. Same with Oregon. Oregon's biggest rival is Washington, not Oregon State. It's just those 2 schools, boy, they hate each other.
I'm gonna go in on Oregon one more time, and then I'm done with them.
All right, let's do it.
Next year, when they're beating people, they're going for 2 onside kicks, going for 4th downs, and they're beating people 71-7 in week 2 and 3.
Mm.
And they look like nobody on Earth and Mars and everywhere can beat them combined. Watch them. They're going to lose 2 or 3 games next year, too. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. They're going to be the same Oregon team they've been for the last 25 years. I'm done. Fuck Oregon.
Washington is. That's why everyone was stroking Oregon's. Okay.
Well, in 2016, Washington was pretty good, but
Yeah.
they went up against Bama and they lost 24-7. So
Yeah.
And the same thing could happen again, also. I mean,
This team's. I remember that year. That team was like Florida State now. Like,
yeah.
they were kind of like they had
limped in.
anemic offense, and they kind of. It just kind. Do you remember that, Carter?
Yeah. It's like at Michigan State that your Michigan State got in too. You know. Like,
Yes,
mm,
perfect example. No offense, they were all defense. So pretty
Didn't
much
they have,
like what Florida State is this year. If Florida State had got in, that's what you would be getting.
all Michigan State had was what Kirk Cousins or something that year, and he still was like,
Yep. Would Bama beat them like 36-0?
no, it was something
It was
horrendous like
ugly.
that.
Hell, I don't even think they got a damn first down.
I will say this: Michigan did not seem too happy about having to draw
No,
Bama
they
the
didn't.
first game. I
No,
think they were
didn't.
really hoping for that third string quarterback in Florida State.
Oh
they
yeah,
were.
most definitely they were.
They did not want that at all, boy.
No, they weren't
Woo.
happy about that
But
at all.
that's what I'm saying. It's like this to leave an SC team out of the playoff. I mean, come on, it just ups that competition level that
Mhm.
much more having one in there.
And if they
Yeah.
want
I
that
know
money,
a lot of
they need
people
to have
don't want to
SEC
hear
money.
that are not SEC team fans, but it's just the truth.
Very much so.
All right, Hoss. What about this? What if y'all would have still beat Georgia, won the SEC championship, but let's say y'all had a second loss in the season, like y'all would have lost to Ole Miss or somebody on top of Texas. Would you have still? Do you still think y'all would have got in with 2 losses or no?
Oh no, I don't think we would have.
Mm.
But then again, what if Georgia have still gotten them in, even with just 1 loss?
That's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
I was half expecting that to happen, that they would put Georgia in ahead of us, because I knew I knew Texas was going to be ahead of us because they've kept them ahead of us ever since they beat us.
Yeah.
And
Carter, that scenario happened last year with Bama. They stubbed their
yeah.
toe against LSU. That's what kept them out, even though Bama was probably good enough to be one of the Final Four last year.
Mm.
Sorry, Hoss. I
And
didn't.
had Georgia made it in, I mean, I wouldn't have been happy about it, but I also could have said, well, I can understand it because of the long win streak they had. Back to back defending champs. I mean,
You may have understood Hoss, but I'm telling you right now, had Georgia got in and not y'all, it would have been real big. You know, you think Florida State fans would have been upset. Holy shit. If Georgia would have got in after losing to you guys,
yeah,
it would have been fucking chaos. The whole state, like, I don't know, dude. The state of Alabama may have burned to the ground. You know, like, that shit would not have gone over well, I don't think. Wouldn't you say so, Grangers, that if even though Bama beat Georgia Saturday and they put in Georgia instead of Bama at number 4, and Bama got left out after
yeah.
winning
Well,
the
I was
SEC.
just saying, just because it was such a close game. I mean, because it's not like we blew them out, and it really came down to that missed field goal.
It did.
Are you excited about your bowl games? Not you, Hoss, because we know you are. But
Oh yeah, Hoss, you should be.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm excited about it. I mean, I definitely didn't think we was gonna end up in the Citrus Bowl. So yeah.
you gonna get a hat?
No, not for a Citrus Bowl. That's like a New Year's Six Bowl or better type scenario. Like Hoss has got the Cotton Bowl hat on from last year. You know, like you make a Cotton Bowl, Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Rose Bowl, something like that. It's worth buying a hat for, but not a Citrus Bowl or a Gator Bowl or something like that.
But you haven't seen the hat yet. You might change your mind.
I don't know. Not for if it's a New Year's Six Bowl, I'll definitely get a hat.
So am I the only one here worried about Georgia? The disappointment of going for 3 in a row, and now all of a sudden they're playing in a bowl game that's really not going to meet their expectations, honestly, and then opt-outs.
Well, nothing was going to meet their expectations except the playoff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still in a New Year's Six Bowl. I mean,
yeah, I'm happy with an Orange Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, Orange, Cotton, Fiesta, Sugar, Rose. I mean, and Peach. Those are the big bowl games. I think next year the Orange Bowl hosts the playoff. So.
Grangers, you don't get it. This is the bowl of the unwanted.
Yeah. Misfit
It's gonna be
toys.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think with those two teams though, if you're a starter and you opt out of this game, granted, if you're injured, I can see
Yeah.
it. But if you're not injured and you're a starter and you opt out of this game, I mean, there's no sense in it because this is a chance to prove a point one way or the other.
Yep. That's the biggest bowl game outside of the playoffs by bar none. Because if Georgia lets FSU go in there and beat them, it's going to make them even more irate. It's going to add fuel to the fire. Like a few years ago, wasn't it? Central Florida was trying to claim a natty, saying we beat the team that beat the team, and we should have been
Mhm.
there. Georgia has got to go in there, whether you're a fan or not. We need the SEC to go in there and take care of Florida State. I don't care if it's 17-16. Just shut them up.
Well, I would
If
just
you're a
imagine.
Georgia fan, oh, go ahead,
Go ahead.
Hoss. I was gonna say, if you're a Georgia fan and you're not happy about a New Year's Six bowl, then you're a spoiled prick.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't used to get these. This is big, and if you opt out of it and you're not injured, fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
This
I'm
is
saying.
still a big damn game.
yeah, and
It's
I would say I would be willing to wager that Kirby is treating this as if it were a playoff game in the fact that y'all want to go out there and make a statement and show that y'all belong, or maybe that you should have got in, and winning convincingly would say that.
Well, not only just that, you remember Kirby is huge on his love for the SEC. So I think he's also going to make a statement for the reason why an SEC champ should get in.
Yeah.
And
Well, guys,
that's what I'm
go ahead.
saying too. Oh, sorry. Is I get it. Georgia's expectations, obviously, we're trying to win a national championship, but I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't see how you can't get up for one of these bigger bowl games, like just a New Year's Six bowl in general. I don't see how you can't get up for it. I mean, these are the bowl games that used to host national championships, every year. Back when the BCS era, and then like I said, this is one of the bowl games that host a playoff game next year, because they alternate, every year between those six. So
Well, won't all six be playoff games next year?
yeah, next year they'll all be
Yeah.
playoff games.
And please be a white fucking hat.
I thought he was about to say something else.
No, we already got the white guys. We need a white hat.
Oh my god!
I'm just waiting on the Birmingham Bowl to become one of the playoff bowls, and then we're in. You guys better look out. We're in.
Well, actually, let me think here. So you got the way the next year is the top 4 teams get a bye week, right? So then there's 8 games, or there's 8 teams. Well, that first round, you'll have your teams will get a home game. Yeah. So if you're the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th seed, you get an extra home game next year at your stadium, which is pretty cool. I mean,
Mhm.
and then the next round, which will have the 4 teams that had the bye week, that's when it'll be, you'll have the bowl games. You'll have your Cotton Bowl, your Sugar Bowl, your Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, and Peach Bowl. I don't know the particular orders, but you'll have when it gets down to 8 teams, you'll have 4 of those 6, and then when you get to the final 4, you'll have the other 2 bowls. You see what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just don't get all these championship locations now. Like last year, they had it in Inglewood, California, at the SoFi Stadium. This year it's in
all
Houston.
bids. These other stadiums are bidding on it.
Yeah.
It's money, man. It always comes back to the money.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't about what's best for the fans no more. Which
I will say this: if Texas makes that national championship game, there's going to be a lot of Texas fans in Houston. You best believe that.
which even though being an Auburn fan, I do appreciate Saban because he is about most times he's about what's best about for college football and home games instead of these neutral site games. He's always been one of those guys, but even though he carries a big stick, he don't make the decisions at the end of the day. But I agree, I don't like these dome games. I'm okay with it for national titles and stuff, but
What about opening games? Because hell, I think Alabama's played in more of those opening like cowboy kickoff games than anybody.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it. It's a moneymaker. But you would prefer
To have an extra home game.
have the home games.
Yeah.
But you got if you're gonna be in the game, you gotta do what it takes.
Yeah.
And that's just the way. And I promised you guys. Well, it's not really a surprise but I told you we were talking a little bit before the show. Looks like I'm going to the Music City Bowl, baby.
There you go.
Music City Bowl, but that's not all, my friend.
There's more.
There is more.
You're not going to the Rose Bowl.
Well, Carter, I always tell you guys that I'm the minority where I work. I think out of 14 or 15 of us, there's 2 Auburn fans in the building. And my cohort, he's a cheapskate. I'm a little more liberal. I'm like, I'd rather spend the extra couple hundred and sit where I want to sit and watch the game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not so worried about certain things. So I'm like, if you want to go to the games, work it out. I don't care. Just leave me out of it because you don't want to hear what I got to say because you're a tightwad. But either way, the deal is, if I'm going to go with you to Pasadena to watch Alabama and Michigan play, we're going to go to the Music City Bowl. And as of right now, tickets have been bought to both games. And somehow your boy is going to Pasadena to watch Alabama and Michigan.
Oh man, that is badass.
I'm pretty excited. I've never been to Pasadena.
Yeah.
It'll be cool. I'm going to be surrounded by Bama Nation, but that shit happens all the time. We've all kind of been there. I've went to, hopefully one day me and Hoss can go to Auburn and, he can pull for his team and I'll pull for mine. And at the end of the day, we shake hands no matter what happens. But I'm going into enemy territory, guys.
Hey, just the history of the Rose Bowl, man. It's just
it's a shithole.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, still.
No, it's cool.
To experience that's really cool. You're getting
Carter, while you're freezing your ass off, I'll be in 75 degrees and sunny.
Yeah. And when they make you wear a mask out there, it's still 2 years later. You have fun. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
And I get to go out there.
You'll be able to say something that none of us can say is that you've been to the Rose Bowl to see a ball game.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's different because when I'm out there, it was a UCLA game. It wasn't a Rose Bowl. So, that'll be awesome. But you need to go to the Sunset Strip. With you loving music, Guns N' Roses, that you need to go to like the Whiskey or one of those places.
We're going to the Rose Bowl parade.
Dude, go to the Sunset Strip and hit up. Dude, they got some killer bands and shit. I don't know.
The guys that I'm going with, they all dip Grizzly and spitting bottles and like.
Are y'all driving or flying?
Well, I'm not going with no rock and roll dudes. Let's put it that way. They listen to country music. Well, they're trenches,
Oh wow!
So
Are we
it's.
taking shots now? I mean, what the fuck?
I was just seeing if you're still there or not. Yeah, I'm going with some redneck, so I'm going to be the most. I'm going to be a. I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb.
That's pretty cool.
I'm going to try. Look, I like everything and fun. I love the trolling and friendly rivalries. I might even wear my Auburn hat out there just to maybe I get to be that one dipshit on camera that they show on TV and look at this guy, look at that idiot with an Auburn hat. I'll be like, I'm the idiot.
Still, that's a hell of a way to start the new year off.
Yeah,
Trenches
I'm
will
stoked about it.
You should be. Trenches will tell you. What fan base did we see when we went to that Tennessee-Georgia game? Like we saw a bunch of them.
Oh my God, we saw Auburn, like it's probably like 7 or 8 Auburn fans. We saw
Yeah,
2 Ohio State fans.
Yeah, but we mostly saw
And it was-
Auburn fans.
It was funny because like Carter was like, "Well, they probably think this is gonna be a better game than fucking New Mexico State." And boy, were they wrong.
Oh,
Should have tuned into your own team.
so we're
Ouch.
taking shots now.
Ouch.
Maybe they were just too busy dipping Grizzly.
Well, you gotta understand that was before y'all played New Mexico State that day, and
Mm-hmm.
I just remember going, "What are all these Auburn fans doing?" And I thought about it, I was like, I bet they were like, "Well, look, we're playing New Mexico State, so hell, we'll go watch this game." Which
We
they
did win.
probably.
We did win.
Oh yeah, that's right.
ESPN got the score wrong.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Is that it?
Sometimes mistakes happen. We beat them 31-10, so I don't
Mhm.
understand what the big deal is here.
Yeah.
I guess you were supposed to beat them by like 5 touchdowns. I don't know.
Yeah, was that not enough, people? Was
Yeah, I think it was
31-10 not
enough.
enough?
Yeah, I think it was. Fuck it.
So yeah,
Y'all were looking ahead.
yeah, okay, yeah. We took the foot off the gas a little bit, and we beat New Mexico State by 21. So what you gonna do?
Win's a win, buddy. That's all that matters.
No.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna cover on and get out of here for the night. Sorry, Hoss. Don't
No,
scold me,
it's
please.
okay. It's okay.
Okay.
You didn't shout out the comment section.
We got
Well, let me
we
do
got-
that.
we got Country Boy Carter. We're good with it.
Yeah, this is a whole different Carter right here. I don't even know how to deal with this Carter.
It's cold outside. I was outside, and I still got my jacket on from earlier. I'm sorry, but this is one of the warmest jackets I've ever owned in my life. So, shout out to Crimson Brave who showed up. Big Ball Daddy. That might have been. Oh, and of course our buddy, the StreamYard Duck.
Yeah.
Quack quack.
What a guy.
Can't forget him. He's always there. First one there,
Last one to leave.
last one to leave. And we'll see y'all very soon. Probably before the bowl games start. And the next time you see us, we'll go over these bowl games
We'll be live.
live from outer space.
Yeah.